Welcome back to Morning Brews live on Tottenham on tour. On today's show, Son Heung-Min wants to stay at Tottenham. Ito is an here we go or what's that?
Neen Mind.
To Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. One Cuti Romero. Tune in here. Welcome back to Tottenham on Tour, your world famous morning news show with myself, the Kauff, and Mr. David. Are you doing all right? David had a bit of a rough night's sleep today, so we're trying to get through this one. I still haven't had a cup of coffee because I'm going to South London today, so I'm going to get my coffee in South London. But we've got news, haven't we?
We have finally actually news. It's been a busy one.
Absolutely. There's some great bits of news, but before we get onto the news, let's see who's in the audience this morning. We got a near ban is in the house. Chelsea fan, good to see her. No, we're not watching the Cricket World Cup. I'm gonna get involved with T20 though because it sounds like a laugh. We got John Ratcher, good to see her. Good to see her. We got Tweak 1978 YouTube member, Fran YouTube member. We've got MZ, good to see her. International Observer YouTube member. Andrew Gregory, YouTube member, radiated from the Guardians of the Pombo. We've got Just a Harmer's Potato, Rich, YouTube member. We've got Mr. M. We got Amir, good to see you, Aki. Good to see you. We got Rinketic, Kudos, Wenger out. We got Spurs Hub 11 on Twitter. If you are on Twitter, please head over to Tottenham on Tour's YouTube. Shem Tang is in the house. Benjamin Foster, Rhythmic Renegade, Atavacron Wembley 1, Andrew W. And yeah, that's it. The first piece of news is one of these funny bits of news. Joshua Zirkzee has been called up to the Netherlands 2024 squad, but there is a bit of a trouble because when he was given the call, he was in Disney World. So the poor guy has spent all this money on his holiday. It's not cheap to go to Disney. It's, what is it, 600 quid for your flights or however much it's, because you'd probably be going first class. So he'll probably be spending $2,000 each for $2,000 for his flights. He spent thousands on his Disney ticket and his accommodation. And immediately he's been told he's got to go home and play for the Euros. I'd be pissed. How angry would you be if you spent all that money? I'd be so annoyed.
oh yeah, 100%. I would be the same. But I'm not being funny. To a normal person like ourselves, you would be annoyed. To someone who makes so much money in football, they probably it's like pocket change for them, isn't it? To be fair, let's be real about it. But I think it'd still be highly annoying at the fact that you're there with your family, you're ready to have a beautiful holiday and everything. Next minute, it's like, oh, guess what? Well, you now have to leave to come and play football for the Euros.
Yeah.
Like, I just think get him set there and have him there.
No, before he's gone, warn him you may be called up for the Euros. Enjoy your holiday, or just advise him maybe not go on a long haul trip. So at least you're somewhere in Europe. So if you do get called up, you're only in Europe. It's only like an hour, 2 hours. That's an 8-hour flight to the Netherlands, and it's 2 flights as well because you'd have to fly to the UK and then you'd have to fly from London to the Netherlands for the training camp, or even he might even have to fly straight to Germany. So that would probably be easier. You could fly direct to Frankfurt probably, but it's still annoying. And even more annoying, he was at Disney Studios. He could have flown the Millennium Falcon or played football. I'd rather fly the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
That's
Any day of the week.
But that's a silly bit of news. That is a silly bit. Why aren't you getting coffee at the coffee company? I have trademarked at the coffee company. Worldwide trademark. It's great. Not that expensive. On the next piece of news, Son Heung-Min is annoyed about all these links regarding his future to go to Fenerbahce. This is Sonny just being a class act, isn't it? He doesn't like he's a Tottenham man. He doesn't like the Mourinho's trying to what's it called, soften the tissue and trying to. He doesn't want to go to Fenerbahce, does he? No disrespect to the Turkish league. If Son's going to go anywhere, it's going to be to another top 5 league. It's going to be to Spain. It's going to be to Germany. It's going to be to a top league, or he's going to go home to South Korea. It's going to be that. He's not going to go to the. It's not going to be to any of those leagues, is it?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, it's Sonny. So he loves Tottenham. He's Tottenham through and through.
Yeah.
And he just loves our club. That he just loves Tottenham. His heart's there. And at the age he is now, I like you said, I don't see him going to a Fenerbahce or something like that. He would definitely be going to like a K League back into Asia or somewhere like that. But I don't think we see him leave Tottenham for a fair while now. At least another 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
And I get why he's uncomfortable with the situation. I get why he's annoyed. Because at the end of the day, he's probably just getting sick of saying the same thing over and over again every time he goes on like the what is it called? Is it the Asian Games or something?
Yeah, the Asian Games,
yeah, the Asian Games. He probably gets annoyed with it because he's probably sick of speculation all the time. And it's like, well, look, no,
he's a very private person. If you've watched the Son Heung-Min documentary, he's a very private person. Keeps himself to himself. He has a very quiet life. He has a very strict lifestyle set by his father. That's why he's such a good footballer, because he's got such a regimented training regime. It's not good, is it?
No, it's not. But that's football. That's football. You are in the limelight. Simple as. That's it. You're in the limelight constantly. The media are always going to want to try and get a snippet out of you. Like, even people are taking the whole thing about saying Sonny said being uncomfortable with the situation. They're taking that wrong, saying, well, why didn't he just say, no, I'm happy at Tottenham and all this? Well, because if he says anything, then he puts himself in the media's eye of being able to just print whatever they want. Yeah. So it's like, if he goes, oh, yeah, I want to stay at Tottenham, but, you know, in the future, you never know what happens. Oh, Sonny wants to stay at Tottenham, but we'll leave if offers come in and stuff like that. So he was just saying it as if to say, like, you know, basically not give them a headline just to clickbait constantly with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I respect him for that. I like Sonny. Don't get me wrong. He did have little issues last season, but you can't say every single player didn't have an issue last season.
Oh, they all had issues.
You know what I mean? They all had issues, and it was trying to get with the formation, change your positions, this, that, and the other. I'm looking forward to Sonny next season.
Never playing in the right position.
Exactly. And for me, next season, I think we'll see a really better Sonny because, as always, when you watch him play for the Korea, my God, he plays bloody well. I mean, I seen a little clip of him taking on 2 players and just literally destroying them. Oh, it was lovely. That was the old Sonny, and maybe we'll see that.
Yeah. You just said Anders always. Whenever someone says Anders always, I want to go leave me out. That's just like, leave me out.
Natural reaction. Muscle memory, that is.
Natural reaction. We got Aki Daigle is in the audience this morning. Go back to bed, sunshine. Go back to bed. It's 4 a.m. He's gone from sleeping too much to not sleeping enough again. Daigle's back. No, I am not any good on the left wing. I'd put me more right back in the changing room. One of those positions. It'd be great.
I'm defender, me. I'm definitely a defender. I cannot be running around that football pitch. I'll be blowing out me. Blowpipe, basically. I'll be dead.
Absolutely. On the next piece of news, it is a here we go from Fabrizio Romano for Ito from Stuttgart to Bayern München. This is a disaster. I mean, we thought, oh, this could possibly happen. Bayern Munich just go like, nope, we're having him. We're not having a Radu Dragusin again. We're paying the release clause. He's playing for Bayern Munich. We're not letting Tottenham do what Tottenham do, which is monitoring the situation, doing this, doing that. Interested, getting a piece of cheesecake, doing this, doing that. Nah, it's having him. That's how a football club acts, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but after everything came out, I'm not going to mention anything. Some reports, whether they're true or not, came out about him. If you want to go and find out, fill your boots. We're not mentioning it here because we don't do that type of stuff. But overall, as soon as we were linked with him, it came out pretty much straight away that we're not focusing on that position immediately, which I'm not too bothered about. Because for me, we do have other areas to worry about. We really do. Our attack and our midfield definitely need sorting out first.
Yeah.
Defense for me, there's plenty of defenders out there that can sit and be on the bench. I think he's going there, and I think Company's going to put Dyer on the right, and he'll probably use Ito on the left since De Ligt's leaving.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't think he wants to play second fiddle. He really doesn't. So, oh right, sorry. Just got a message from Brian. Apparently, the reports about Ito was meant to be someone else. So ignore what I said there. Don't look for it because it's not real.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm not too mad about this. Obviously, don't get me wrong. I'd love a player to have a here we go early. I really would. Anyone would when it comes to the transfer window.
Yeah.
But as soon as that transfer window opens, I really believe we need to see movement straight away. Not hanging about.
I forgot to change the background. I'm sorry. Change the background.
I didn't even notice.
David's job.
I know. I didn't even notice.
It's the evening somewhere, Darren.
Yeah.
It's the evening somewhere. It's the evening in Australia. We're doing an Australian show.
Yeah. We're going international. We are Tottenham on tour. We're on tour.
Absolutely. We are. How do you know we're not in Australia at the moment? Even though I've got a Union flag there and we're in exactly the same position. I could be an Australian. It could be a green screen.
It could be. Yeah. I copied this down and put on green screen. We're living it up in the sunny world of Australia.
Yeah.
Now, I'd never go to Australia. I'm not lying, mate. I would never even step foot on that place. The spiders and creatures and things that people tell me that are going to kill you over there. No, thank you. I'll stay in my little village in Wales with my sheep, just relaxing. I'm all right. I'm happy.
So
I'm safe.
I'm staying in my little house in Wales.
In Wales, in the valleys with my sheep.
Yeah. David is in Gavin and Stacey. When we do Gavin and Stacey on Tottenham on tour, David is totally in. He's the star of the show. Touring the time zones is not that bad. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But yes, this signing is this is just Bayern doing it, isn't it? They want a centre back. Bang.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of clubs that are going to act like this. You know, a lot do need defenders. Again, I think at the moment, yes, we need a left-sided centre-back. We really do.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's priority. I really don't. I think we're okay to look through the window. That's a position I think we don't have to rush on.
Yeah.
Right? The positions I think we have to rush on is definitely midfield. We need to see the Ezes, the Gallaghers, whoever like that in that midfield straight off the bat. The same as up front. We need another attacking player straight off the bat. No messing about or anything like that. Just straight in, get him in, done. Then you can look at left backs. You can look at right backs. You can look at left centre backs. All that. I'd like another versatile player in that left centre back position, like Van der Ven. You know, who could play left centre back, play on the left, because then if Udogie does get injured, they could be used there.
Yeah,
and they'll work because they're still defensive minded. They're still being able to shift positions. I think versatility of players is becoming more common within teams. So I'd like to see that again with like an attacker. You sign Eze, not only can he play in the midfield as an attacking midfielder, he can play on the left, he can play on the right. It helps because you can fill multiple positions with quality without having to buy multiple players. So it frees up money to buy decent players. And that's what we hope that the owner does. Hopefully if he does is do that.
Rinketic is saying in the chat, would you take Kone for Mönchengladbach? I don't know the player personally, and as I like to say, I'm not going to say I know a player. Just going to get rid of that person. I'm not going to say I know a player. So if enlighten me, I don't know about the player personally. I don't know. I don't know, but have you
No.
heard of this player, Kone from Mönchengladbach? I'm not sure. I've not heard of this player.
No, I haven't, unfortunately. I haven't heard anything about him, so I'm not going to pretend anything about him I know. So, yeah, unfortunately, no. I can look him up. I'll look
You
him
can
up
look
and
him up
see.
when we do any shows that we're linked. If that's a good player, it's a good player, but it's not what we like to do here.
Yeah.
On the final bit of news before we talk about the stream tonight, it's a tiny bit of a worry, to be honest. Christian Romero, or Cuti, is being touted by Real Madrid, who clearly want a centre back to replace Nacho because Nacho has gone and they're looking for more of that leadership type centre back. This is a worry. A lot of people were saying this pre-window that Romero could possibly be off this year. If they put in the money, does he go?
100%. 100%. I'm sorry. I know people won't like that, but if Real Madrid come calling and they offer the money and Levy takes it, Romero will go.
Yeah.
He even though he loves Tottenham and he'll be willing to stay, if a club like, say, a Chelsea or a United or someone came in for him, he'd refuse.
Yeah.
But the one thing you don't do is turn down Real Madrid.
Especially the South Americans love Real Madrid.
Oh, yeah, of course they do.
South America is Real Madrid. Yeah, there's one of the teams that they all dream about playing for in South America. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and of course you got players like teams like, of course, River Plate and Boca Juniors and all the big teams over there. Some amazing teams over there. What price gets Tottenham to sell Christian Romero?
Well, he's got 3 years left on his contract. I think if Romero was to go, it would. I think he'd actually be a record. He would be the first ever centre back to be sold for 100 million. There's no way he goes for less than that.
Yeah,
it's they just wouldn't. No way Levy would sell him for less than that.
Yeah,
because he's that good, and he's balling for Argentina at the moment. And yeah, if Real Madrid come in, I think they'd have to come in with a record bid.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking 120 million because you got to keep him. He is. I think he's the crown prince. I think he will be captain after Sonny now, especially now that he's done so well. You have to ask for stupid money. Either you give him a new deal, a long-term deal, and you give him silly money, because Romero probably should be on silly money at this rate. He's one of the best players at the club. He's in the top 4 players in the club. He should be on money that reflects that rather than being on less money than Timo Werner. He should be on top money, and he should have, whether he's captain next year is an interesting one. I don't think he will be. I think Andrew will still stick with Sonny. But this was going to happen anyway, wasn't it? The big clubs were always going to come in for Romero. Real Madrid love an aggressive centre back. They've had the Pepes, the Ramoses. They love an aggressive centre back.
Yeah, and he'll fit perfectly at Real Madrid.
Yeah,
and with the players they got, the fact that they've got the Mbappe now, you got Vinny Jr., you got all them players. He would fit that team so well.
Yeah.
And as much as we hate it, because the fan base loves Cutie, right? We do. And we love everything about him. The aggressiveness, the old school style defending, just everything. He will leave if Real Madrid come. He will leave. Just like Bale. Everyone didn't think Bale would leave.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But he did. As soon as that bid came in, that was it. He was gone.
It's different though. Bale was a Real Madrid fan when he grew up, so that was his dream move, wasn't it? It was a dream that turned into a nightmare.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, it did turn into a nightmare, I think, personally for him, but it was also like probably one of his best time in football with all the trophies he's won. Footballers want to win trophies. They don't want to win fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, that's it. At the moment, all we can give him is fans.
Yeah.
That's all we can give him. Kudos asked the question, who are we going to replace him with? We already have Dragoshin, sorry.
Yeah.
Dragoshin is always and has always will be Romero's replacement. That's it. And I think that's why we were looking at a left centre-back.
Yeah.
as well. Is if the case, because there's no way, like I said, there's never smoke without fire, right? So there is something there that Real Madrid have obviously sounded out the possibility of going for Romero. I'm not surprised if someone comes in for Van der Ven and tries to offer us even more money for him.
It'll be Real Madrid as well. Real Madrid or Barcelona, if Barcelona get their
Yeah.
finances right.
Yeah, and you're talking about a set of defenders that could breach over £200 million for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, as a business side, which Levy is,
Yeah.
you don't hold on to that type of, you don't turn down that type of money. You just don't.
It's crazy money. Even Juventus, when they had Zinedine Zidane and they were offered the money they were offered, they took it because it was life-changing money. £56 million back in those days was a hell of a lot of money. It still is a lot of money. But not in terms. It still is a lot of money, but how concerned are the people of the chat? Do they think he's going to go this year, or do you think it's going to be another year when they come in with it? Because again, PSR and FFP affects the entire world of football. So will they wait another year after they've got Kylian Mbappe on a free, but they're paying him stupid money. They're paying him silly money. So let's see. What does everyone think? Are they worried he'll go this year, or do you think he'll go next year? Answer that question. But what do you think he goes this year, David, or do you think he goes next year?
It all depends on Real Madrid's bid. Personally, I think they're not just going to come straight out of bat and offer us over 100 million for him. I think they'll try and do like the 70, 80 million mark, something like that. If they mess about like that, there's no chance he's going. If I was leaving right now, I know Romero's got 3 years left on his contract. He's getting a new one, and he's getting put on like 200 grand a week. You want to keep a player like that at your club, you take in Dombele's wages and you give it to Romero.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing you could say about him, is he's actually done stuff for this club. He's worked as hard as he could. And he's not just came in and took advantage of the wages he's getting. So yeah, I'd offer him a new contract, put release clause in it, 140 million, 150 million, something like that. Yeah. And put him on another 2-year contract, so you got him for 5 years. For me, that'd be a smart move to do. If you generally want to keep him, but it's all about Levy as well, isn't it? Because if you could sell him for say 120 million, that looks good on the books.
Yep.
That looks very good on the books, especially at the end of the window, which Levy loves, being in the green, and being having a
profit.
Positive profit, basically, where it looks great on the books. Levy loves that.
Profit loss account, FC.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And yeah, he will go. There is no doubt about that. If Real Madrid were to stump up the money, he ain't turning them down. He really isn't. And I think he'd be silly to. As much as I'd love to keep Cutie, he would be silly to turn down that sort of move, especially when they've just won the Champions League.
Yeah.
They've just signed Mbappe, so clearly they want to go again at it and win it for what would be the 12th time, something like that. I think it is, or 17th time, or how many bloody trophies that bloody club won.
Yeah.
He'd want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And unlike Hayne, I don't think he'll allow it to leave it too late.
I don't want to sell Cutie yet. I don't want to sell Cutie unless it's crazy money. We're talking the 120 millions, and I don't want 120 million paid over 7 years. I want 100 million paid up front and 20 million in add-ons.
Yeah.
And guaranteed. And then you have Champions League, and then you have that stuff. Because basically, Real Madrid are going to win the Champions League at some point next year. They're going to win it. They win it every year. So when they win it, you give us another 20 million. You have to put... But it's crazy money. But this is going to be a funny bit of news, because it's Marmite. Tammy Abraham is apparently being touted to be signed by Tottenham this season. What's your overall thoughts on the Tammy Abraham signing, David?
I'm in two minds. I'd like to see it. I know the people in the chat are going to go absolutely mental at me at the moment, but I'd like to see it. But I'd like to see it if he wasn't an actual starter. If he was a backup, right? Yeah. Bear in mind, I don't want him to be first team. You know what I mean? That actual starter type player. But I'd like to see it in the type of system we play because he is a bit of a goal poacher. That's what he was known for. He's not one for being creative or anything like that. I think he's a bit of a goal poacher, and I think he might work, and especially with the likes of Eze and stuff like that, it could work. I think it might do.
There are many things about Tammy Abraham. One, as you've just said, he's a goal poacher. Secondly, he's English and he's homegrown. So that helps the homegrown quota. That's one more foreign player we can be signing as well. I think he's more He's more mobile than someone like a Richarlison. He's more mobile than him. Yes, he's got his injury record, but he's more mobile as a footballer. He's better technically as a footballer than Richarlison, so it might work in this system more. If the money is right, I'm not mad at this signing. I'm not mad at it. Yes, we can get far better, but how many? Everyone said, "Oh, we need a proper goal scorer." Well, it means we're going to be spending 80, 90 million because that's how much a goal scorer costs now, and we're not going to spend 80, 90 million on a goal scorer. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. This is Levy we're talking about. This is why we're doing this every 2 minutes. I think people wouldn't be as mad at this signing if we had not signed this useless person, Timo Werner. If we had not signed Timo Werner and we signed Tammy Abraham, I think people would be not chuffed about it, but they'd be like, you know what? Homegrown, good rotation player to have in the early rounds of the Cup and in the Europa League because we're playing in the Europa League. I think this is not that bad of a signing. Personally, there are worse signings we have made recently. It depends on the money. It depends on the money. If it's more than 30 million, forget it.
Yeah, and for me, I seen Kate just saying there then about he's not a Kane replacement. We're never replacing Kane. We can't replace Kane. I know people want to and say we should do. There's no player out there that'll be able to match Kane in the Premier League.
Yeah.
There really isn't that we can sign. And we've got to look at it as we need multiple positions. We're a very, very screwed club at the moment with the type of players. We've got rid of a load at the moment, but we still need to get rid of a lot. And I get why people are understandably against the signing of like a Tammy Abraham or something like that. But when I say backup, I don't mean like a backup to Richarlison. I mean buy another striker as well.
Yeah.
So not just bring in Tammy Abrahams and he's the backup to Richarlison. You bring in Jimenez. I really want Jimenez. Really do. I'd love him at Tottenham. And Kate said they're buying a Jimenez. Yeah, you buy a Jimenez, then you buy an Abraham. Sell Richie if you have to. You know what I mean? If you have to, get rid of him. But why do we always only allow 1 or 2 strikers? Why can't we have 3?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? What's with having multiple strikers that give you different dynamics, yeah? Right? And that's for me. When I say as a backup, I mean like a backup. You know? Someone who comes on in the, you know what I mean, the low rounds of an FA Cup or a Carabao or a Europa, and you switch it up and you have the ability to change your attack drastically rather than taking one player and putting him there, like taking Sonny, putting him on the wing, taking Sonny, make him a striker, sometimes using Kulu up there, sometimes using Kulu on the left. Using wingers up front, for me, doesn't work. It doesn't work. You need actual strikers.
Yeah.
And for me, why not? Why can't we go for a Tammy Abrahams, have a Tony, have Richarlison there, sign Isak, sign an Isak, have Tammy as a backup.
We're not going to spend 120 million on a striker.
No, we're not. We've got to be realistic. Yeah, as fans, we could be, I'm sorry to use this word, I'm not calling people in the chat this, but have that slight bit of delusion to say Levy's going to go out and go after an Isak or someone like that. It ain't going to happen. You've got to be logical and realistic. And I think in the system we play, he wouldn't be a bad backup if we were to get another striker, actual one who can score multiple goals. Because Tammy Abraham, what he does have is work rate.
Yeah.
And he will trouble defences. But our goals are not set on the striker position. It's more about the team as a whole. Hence why we've seen the likes of Kuti scoring a lot of goals. We've seen Van der Ven scoring goals. Barata. And we've seen other players scoring goals. The one position I was really upset about that we didn't get multiple goals from was midfield. That needs to be worked on.
I totally agree. I think this one isn't that bad of a signing. I think it is. Of course, you sign a top quality striker if we can go. It's why I'd actually quite like Ivan Toney. I think Ivan Toney wouldn't be a bad shout for 40 million quid. English, scores goals. I think it's not a bad signing.
Yeah, I mean, you can get them both. What, Tony and Abraham for about what? I'd say about 70 mil. Something like that, 60, 70 million. If we were to get that, I think them two would work together quite well as well. If you need to just win a game and you put two strikers on, they could work well. And again, he's English. We've got to look at it at that point of view. There's not many English strikers.
We haven't got many English players.
Why am I so negative? We're going to get Isak.
We've got a comment from Philly, and it's a reasonable comment to make. Why are we settling for mediocrity when we're one of the richest clubs? Because that's what we are. We are a mediocre club with money. We are a small club with money. We're not a big club. People think, oh, we're a big club. We used to be the record holders of the FA Cup. We won the league. We won the double. Tottenham are a small club. That's what we are. We are a small club with money.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we are. That's what we're acting like. We're acting with a small club that cares about its profit and loss account instead of winning trophies.
Yeah, if you want to put it into perspective, right? Look at our rivals, right? Arsenal, yeah? They went last season, bought Havertz, Jorginho, and Declan Rice. Right? That's what, 200 million there. Right? We will not do that in one window. We won't. And then this window, they're looking at spending close to 100 million on a striker. So in 2 windows,
they will spend 100 million on Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, they will have spent nearly 300 million over 2 windows because they want to go and win the Prem. With us, when you look at it, we've got Levy, whose first signing of this window was a loan deal for Timo Werner. Now, we have multiple positions to fill. We have players that still need to go. When you have an owner like Levy, he won't do that. He's not going to go and spend £100 million on a player. If you look at Ndombele, our record signing, was that a good signing because we spent a ton of money on him? No, it's not. And Levy ain't going to do that. Unfortunately, we are in the position to have an owner who will look at Isak and go, he's too expensive. Not, he'll win me a title. It's always about the price with him. Yeah. Always will be, and that's it. So when we talk about this, you might not like us saying that we're taking Abraham, but if you think logically about it, that's the type of player we're going to get. So it's basically trying to get like the best out of a bad bunch, in theory. It's like that, and you get the best out of a bad. Yeah. And it's not good. It's not good. I don't like it.
One, it's spot on Hotspur 82. Why would Newcastle sell to a rival in terms of the way Newcastle were in a very similar position to Tottenham? They had really bad injuries. They're competing with us. They're not going to sell to a direct rival, even for 120 million, because it's strengthening their rivals. I can understand them selling to an Arsenal because Arsenal are up there and Newcastle are sort of there. So Newcastle want to have that 120 and then reinvest so they can get there, and then they can then do that. That's the way. That's the way. But unfortunately, that is the end of the show because I actually have to do some work today. I've got to get on my bike. I've got to get on my bike at some point. But David, we're back at Evening Brews later, aren't we?
Yes, we are. There will be an Evening Brews. I think it's a bit earlier today, isn't it? It's like 5:45 or something. And I believe a competition will be drawn on that day. So later on, a competition will be drawn. So yeah, and so don't miss it out. Evening Brews, go check that out. And last little thoughts from myself. Tomorrow, the lovely transfer window opens. It is upon us, and I will be doing a transfer show at 6 p.m. My first one.
It's got to wake up before the Euros because the Euro starts tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one. So if you want to hear about little transfers we've been linked with, things like that, I know most people do. But if you want to see me talking transfers that I pretty much know nothing about, I'm no Fabrizio, I'm no one. I'm just a Welshman on a channel wanting to chat football and transfers and stuff. So yeah, don't miss that out. It's going to be fun. And yeah, passive thoughts is I hope we sign Isak. I hope we sign the Jimenez's. I really do.
It's just not going to happen, is it?
No. I hope so.
But Thank you all so much for watching today's show. We will be back later for Evening Brews here on Tottenham on Tour. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, if you smell what the Kauff is brewing, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Ciao for now.